Folks, on Tuesday, April 8th, St. Louis voters will go to the polls to vote for mayor. And there are other statewide elections, but we're looking at the St. Louis mayoral race. Tishaura Jones is the incumbent, completing her first four-year term. Alderwoman Cara Spencer is challenging her, and the County Democratic Party, they're jumping behind Cara Spencer. Obviously, people in St. Louis are saying, oh, this is clearly a black and white thing. Joining us right now is rapper, activist, Tef Poe. Tef, glad to have you on the show. You have been posting a number of comments on social media talking about this race, trying to get people to understand what is going on in the city. You've got folks, got some folks who are not happy with the election of Tishaura Jones, saying that she didn't do certain things they wanted her to do. You had, of course, the issue dealing with, of course, Kim Gardner, the St. Louis city prosecutor. But just speak to how you see this race taking place in 8 days.
Well, what's going on right now is only 18% of the city has voted. We had a primary that was pretty controversial. If you know anything about the black vote in Missouri, they don't want us to vote, period. Kansas City, St. Louis, black people, when y'all vote, we win. And I'm talking specifically about local elections, municipal elections. This is where the real power lies in this environment. And this election coming up on April 8th with Cara Spencer versus Tishaura Jones is really what I'm calling the Sex in the City candidate. Cara Spencer versus Tishaura Jones, who hasn't had a flawless record by any means. I've criticized her, but the truth is only one of these individuals looks like your mother. Only one of these individuals is most likely to call the police on you if you're trying to enter your apartment late night. Only one of these individuals is what I would classify as a European Karen. The other one is the first black woman mayor that we've had in the history of the city. And there have been some challenges in many ways as she's tried to proxy herself as a more progressive candidate and also a candidate that is trying to appease to the entire city. So as a more progressive body, sure, we've had a lot of back and forth with her, but I'm clear that we don't want to vote for more white power.
Now, you said you've had a primary, so explain that, because what's April 8th?
April 8th is our actual general election. In St. Louis, we kind of have a runoff. And I don't know the exact historical specifics about how that was determined or set up, but I do know that normally who wins the runoff, who wins the primary, also successfully takes the mayoral cabinet. We're hoping for a chance to defy history here, to push back on the red line and actually get folks out to vote. Cara Spencer can't say that she's won if the votes haven't been casted. You have just manipulated the system, and that is propaganda.
This, of course, when you look at elections, are all about money, and there's a lot of money going behind Cara Spencer. But I keep saying, you may be a real rich person, but you only can vote one time.
Yeah, and what we got to realize, organized people and organized money produce power. And in these cases where we're going against these white folks who want to stand adjacent to the movement for Black Lives, stand adjacent to the Black Lives Matter movement, they want to march with you when it's sexy. They want to chant George Floyd's name when it's plastered all over Netflix. But when we get into the real deal brass politics of the matter, what are your actual political positions? How do you feel about the brothers and the sisters in them jails? St. Louis is at a crossroads where we're challenging both Tishaura Jones and Cara Spencer to answer those questions. But specifically, I believe Cara Spencer has manipulated the system. And here we are now fighting a person that is leaning into corporate interests, claiming to be a progressive, but I've seen Donald Trump signs in the same front yards as her signs.
Now, you also are dealing with, obviously, the money issue here, but without a doubt, race is there. And you have a legislature that's trying to do the St. Louis, what they've already done in Kansas City, take over the police department.
Correct. And it's going active right now. This should be a red alert to young black men. Often black men say, where do we fit into the conversation? What are the policies that are going to serve us? What are the positions that are going to serve us? This one right here should absolutely be a red alert. Um, what's going on right now is that they are realizing that it's been 10 years since Ferguson. It's been 10 years since the death of Mike Brown. And we are knee deep in a power struggle in Missouri, an historical power struggle. And it comes down to uh, corporations deciding that people are not important. And we can hope and pray that if Tishaura Jones does successfully get another term, we want to hold her to the fire too on showing the people that she actually respects the unhoused. She actually knows what's going on in those jails with the deaths and the people who are dying in the city jail every month. Um, by no means is this a free for all where we're letting the mayor off the hook, but we do believe that the city is being manipulated for the greater good of a white progressive agenda, and Miss Spencer is leading the charge on that.
Questions from my panel. Mondale, you're first.
I can't hear you, Mondale. That's one of my brothers.
Mondale, you first. Mondale, is your
Yep. Yep.
okay, go
Let me
ahead.
be clear. Let me be clear. I'm not talking to a stranger when I'm talking to Tef. Tef is someone who's younger than me, but also my brother. Even though Tef is you might not know it, but Tef is one of the architects. When I say you, I'm talking about the audience. Tef is one of the architects of what happened in St. Louis. So while you don't see his name in billboards, it don't mean he ever left St. Louis in fighting. Listen, man, I also need to say the same thing about Tishaura Jones. Me and Tishaura Jones both sit as part and members of the African American Mayors Association. And I know when I started the housing program, to get low income housing in parts of St. Louis, she was the first person to call me. She said there are black neighborhoods. This was years ago when I started the program. There are black neighborhoods in St. Louis that have not had a new mortgage in 50 plus years. And she was trying to remedy that. I know she started, a Brighter Future program for St. Louis. I know she's started to turn on Workhouse. And I think people, like you said, when you have someone that you agree with all the time, it's easy for you to be out there chanting and supporting them. So my thing is, how do you reach these brothers? And I'll let you know, I'm gonna be in your city sometime this week with the Black Male Voter Project.
Oh man, let's please link.
Yeah, but how are we gonna get these brothers to know that while she is not perfect, we're not looking for perfection. We're looking for someone that we can fight with.
Well, tomorrow night, I might as well say it on Roland Martin if I'm gonna say it anywhere. We are having a really big coalition meeting of black men and different organizations with the mayor. We are being honored with her presence. She cleared her schedule just to be there and to address a vast myriad of men from the community. All of us don't agree on everything. We're not in the same organization and we're not being paid to be there. So tomorrow night, I know because I'm the one that organized it, we have close to 80 black men from all over the city coming together to hear what the mayor has to say, and also hopefully by the end of this conversation, find a place within her positions for us as a community. And we also want to highlight what the enemy is doing. I think black men have grown to respect power, especially younger black men. Younger men want to see motion. They want to see action. They don't want to see any more political theater. If you don't believe in it, don't say it and you'll be fine. I think that's where we are in this generation of people. Even when you listen to hip hop music, a lot of the rappers, Young Thug, he got himself in that situation because he said, if I'm not living it, I can't rap about it. That's where we are now with black politics for black men. If you're not living it, don't come spilling it on our doorstep because people need results, people need action, people need motion, people need collectivity. And I'm crushing the myth that we as brothers don't want to see it, that we as brothers don't desire it, that black men are a non-sophisticated political base. All of that is out the door. The problem is, and I'm going to say this on camera, I need the local women in the Democratic Party, the local black women, y'all have already talked yourselves into a hyperbole concerning certain constituents, certain demographics of people who already support you. I need you to do the legwork that is required of all of us if we're going to be public people of any capacity, to reach across the aisle and begin to recognize people that are living in the proletariat class. Because the policies that you are standing on, the initiatives and the legislation that you are pushing out there, they're going to affect that class of people first. But it does not matter if that class of people does not even recognize you as an agent of change, if they don't recognize you as a true representative of theirs. Yes, you got the job. Yes, you got the votes. Now, the second part of this is you showing us that you have the actual sophistication to connect the people and bring the right relationships to the table in order for you to be successful at a job that nobody put a gun to your head and said, do.
Indeed. Thank you, brother.
Derek.
Brother, I just want to tell you, I salute you for using your platform, leveraging your platform. But my question is this, you only have 8 days, 9 days now, and to educate those that this is the general election, right? A lot of folks think that general elections only happen in November. We're talking about April 8th. So what are we doing to educate folks that this is not a primary, this is not a runoff, this is the general election. Whoever wins April 8th will be your chief executive of that city. What are we doing to educate them?
Well,
I think
as organizers and activists, we ain't new to this. We true to it. So we had done massive efforts going on citywide. Kayla Reed, who leads Action STL, so much stuff is going on behind the scenes through her organizing mechanisms that I can't even talk about on camera. And the thing is, when you come to St. Louis, there's a few things we know how to do. We know how to organize, we know how to do direct action, and we know how to build collective momentum. Now, here's where we are with this, if I'm being real. We are down by 30, and the clock is ticking. The game is almost over. We have to realize that no matter the outcome of this election, we're going to push folks to vote. We're going to get in them streets. We're going to raise as much hell as we could raise. But even after the fact, I want Cara Spencer to know that if she do win, it ain't over. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going home to click our boots. You in St. Louis, big baby. Prepared, strap up, boot up. This politics. We go for the long haul, not the short game anyway. It's a movement, not a moment.
Ben.
Brother, God bless you. I have enjoyed every word that has come out of your mouth. Mandel, you got to tell us more about this brother and get him over on Clickbaity, because you have a class analysis and a liberation theology. I can hear it coming through every word that you're speaking. My question to you is the arc of time that you have been in St. Louis since Michael Brown and all that happened in Ferguson, and you mentioned this historic power struggle. Here's my question. What have you seen the arc turn into in terms of blackness and black organizing, but specifically in terms of how white people have been pushing back against you all? I would never forget some of the most sophisticated campaigns I've ever seen against blackness began right there in Ferguson. And I'm curious, what have you seen that arc over the last 10 years shape up to be?
I mean, I've seen that arc produce Cara Spencer, a white moderate who can proxy herself as a non-racist, non-confrontational white person. But the key word in the compounding of the word white and person is white. It's not person, it's white. Because whiteness doesn't recognize anybody else's true and actual personhood. So even if she wanted to have the utmost respect for my mind, the utmost respect for my background, the utmost respect for my city, the utmost respect for my homeboys, my homegirls, and everything that everybody had been through, it's impossible for her to do it because she's a mechanism of white supremacy by proxy of what she's trying to do, which is gentrify the hood, knock the ghetto down. She want to do us like Bin Laden did Manhattan. They want to come in and sell St. Louis to these high interest groups. They want to bring in high levels of surveillance on black folks. And this stuff is real. You know what I'm saying? This isn't some science fiction movie where they might be doing it. No, this is real sick, demented, twisted stuff that these people are doing in the name of money. And what we can do as people who speak the truth is no longer allow folks who are speaking publicly to convolute fact with opinion, opinion with fact, real news, fake news. No, this is real news. This is reality, and we in it to win it, regardless to if she becomes the mayor, if Tishaura Jones has to find a new career path. We don't believe that's what's going to happen. But I represent the might of the people no matter who's in office.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.